What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Foxy. Welcome back to the Fox's Den. Getting into another reaction. It is a beautiful Saturday. We're watching Heavenly Delusion. New episode 11. The test begins. I wonder what the fuck that means. Who knows until we actually get into it. But off of last episode, it turns out Juichi wasn't really lying as much as I thought he was. Because right from the get-go, when he was trying to make money by telling these stories and whatnot, from the episode before last, I was like, okay, this guy's just trying to make a buck. It doesn't seem like, there could be most of the things that he says, there could be rumors that he's heard, and all those things could be sort of half-truths, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's some truth to it, but it's not completely true. But turns out this last one, or not this, I don't know if it was the last one that he told, but basically the one that he told about himself getting caught up in this walled town where it was just women. That's like how they ruled. Like, it was just like a town for women, and then they had a bunch of men that were breeders or boars that they used to repopulate or reproduce, obviously. But that was like all they were used for, just to do chores and like give me your semen. That's basically it. And if they had a daughter, she'd be praised, and if they had a son, they'd become a fucking breeding pig. Like, it's fucking disgusting. But sure enough, that story was pretty much fucking true, because he actually does have a tat up on his shoulder. He comes back to ask for what's it called, Haruki and Maru's help. So they actually end up getting a ride with him, and that's good because they're trying to get to this Ibaraki facility, which is a good 5 hours away, which would be pretty hard on foot. It would take probably more like, days at least. I wouldn't think it would take at least a week, but a couple days for sure if you were walking there. And that's like non-stop moving, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would take a while. So they're lucky they came up, with him to check out, if his kid was still there. And sure enough, it wasn't. It was run over by a fucking, man-eater, which had this ice-like ability. And, very quickly they realized the place was abandoned already, because there was a big hole in this wall that had spikes on it, the walled town, and everything was abandoned and everything was destroyed. And I was like, okay, it doesn't look like there's anybody here. It doesn't look like there's much here. And then that's sure enough when they get into this encounter with this man-eater, which looks like a spider. And it was fucking almost got them good by like freezing them to death. And luckily they were able to shoot through the ceiling and messed it up a little bit. And then Haruki was determined, like, nah, I'm not letting this fucking thing get away. And she did her thing, cut it in half basically with the gun, because cut off like basically the bottom half of the spider, I guess, because Maru went to go try and actually destroy it, but he couldn't find its core, so it actually got away or whatever, which is unfortunate. But then later, after they tell Juichi, like, yeah, no, this is a dead end, like, doesn't look like any of the women here, nobody's here, but don't give up on your son. Like, you can't give up, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might be able to find him still. Lo and behold, here comes boar number whoever, two of his, people that he knew as other breeders in this place, come walking up on him like, oh shit, boar number 11, like, what's up? Yo, it's been a while. And they start catching up, and then they bring them to their little shelter, like where they've been hanging out at ever since then. Because I think they said it's been about a month or so since it, like, or no, it was a month after he left or something like that. So it's been a while. They've been hunkering down and doing what they can to survive and whatnot. And they actually had his kid with them. So that was a really happy reunion. We saw Haruki and Maru like kind of like enjoy that happiness. And then sure enough, later in the episode, the fucking monster's back or whatever, the man-eater, and it starts freezing shit again in the house. They're like, oh shit, we gotta fucking dip. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep moving, stay warm. And Haruki's holding the kid, and then all of a sudden, like, you see Haruki just still gets colder and colder and colder. And then Maru finally comes, picks up the kid, and you're seeing the cold still, and then he finally sits him down. I was like, oh shit, it's the fucking kid. So that means Juichi happened to get mixed up with somebody that is probably from one of the, facilities that we've gotten a hint of, which is this heaven place that we keep getting a flashback to, which I think is the main facility, and hopefully I'm hoping is this actual Ibaraki facility that we're headed to, because that would be huge. And I would love that before the season ends, because I'm pretty sure it ends in like 2 episodes or so. Yeah, it's very intriguing that Juichi happened to get mixed up with somebody that might be from that facility because that kid has a man-eater ability, which is, you know, that's why Maru was like, that's the Hiroko, that's the man-eater right there, that's him, the kid. So the fact that that kid has the same ability as the man-eater that we actually just fought leads me to believe that yes, these people that fall onto this disease or whatever that were a part of this place, starting out as either man-eater babies or whatever, just like how that would have happened to the girl that we like helped out and let her die as a human. This mother turned into that man-eater. That's what happened, basically. That's Juichi's, that's who he's looking for, Juichi's, you know, whatever. So it wasn't like you know, how obviously they didn't know what was actually happening because this was just from this guy's point of view, but Juichi actually ended up getting revenge on this long-haired kid or guy that was taking care of his kid ever since like they got separated, because he was the one that snitched in the first place and why they got kind of caught up, you know what I'm saying? So maybe she already had the disease and she was hiding it, and because she tried to escape, get executed, since she died a normal death that way, right? I guess, you know what I'm saying, before being able to actually destroy the core like Maru does or whatever. Since she died like that, that's what turned her into that Hiroko or man-eater. That's how that happened. And then boom, it's right out front of the wall, you know, of the place. So since you hung her up and shit, like, it's perfect, like, it's right there. It's just the fucking man-eater is gonna fuck all you guys up. That's exactly how that happened. And that was pretty disturbing too at the end too. Like, it was a pretty huge twist. Like, you know, Juichi seemed pretty content with like how he found his son and like, you know, who he was with, but then we quickly learned that he had quite the grudge or whatever. He wanted to get revenge in some way against that guy that snitched, and he certainly did. He cut his throat, and then he stole their guys' car, and he left with his son. See you, bye-bye. The classic saying from him, which is crazy because now it's just him and his son on his own. And then we got Haruki and Maru that were actually got, you know, gifted the van that he already had by him. So, you know, that's pretty damn cool. But it's quite interesting because Maru and Haruki think that they're all happy and dandy when they left, and all that shit just happened, and they'll probably never see each other again, which is just crazy to think about. And then towards the end of the last episode, we got I think the introduction of these 5th years. So maybe I don't know if they're 5th graders or if they're 5 years old. I think they're 5 years old. These new kids that just got introduced to the facility. So what if, you know, Juichi either met somebody that was a part of the people that we already know in this facility. I don't know who it'd be, but somebody in this. And you know what? Damn, I just fucking thought of something. Okay, this might be out there, but this just hit my brain all of a sudden. I can't remember exactly what their hair color is, but if you remember correctly, these two girls were always together. Remember? Like, they're always kissing, and like, you know, the monitor rooms have been looking at them like, oh my god, how do they know about that? Like, we never taught them the concept of kissing. I wonder what brought them to kiss each other. Blah, 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 blah. But they're always together. And Juichi, if I remember correctly, was talking about how it was two girls that were really interested in it. Even though it was just one girl that got pregnant and had the kid or whatever, there was two girls that were asking for him. So what if it was those two girls and then one of those is the mother or something? Because both of them got executed for trying to escape with him. Like, they were both trying, 3 people were trying to escape total with the kid. So that just hit me all of a sudden. What if it's them? I don't know. So that's what I'm saying. It could be somebody from the class or the, you know, kids that we already know, or it could be somebody from this new set of kids, like the 5-year-olds, because you know, it's like 15 years before this if we're assuming that this is in the past, because Tokyo, if this kid that she has is Maru, then that's, you know, Maru's like 15 years old now, around that, you know what I'm saying? So that means like the 5-year-olds are like 20 years old, and then the kids that we already know are like, you know, a little bit older, like probably like 25, 30, you know, approaching their 30s or something like that, like actual adults. And that's why I'm also thinking that maybe that caretaker, or not caretaker, but like kind of like the person that took Maru in and like was like, you know, you need to get to heaven and blah blah blah, and like what started this whole thing in the first place, she also, I feel like, might be from this fucking place, if I had to guess, just because how does she know so much? And she also fell to the disease and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? I feel like falling into the disease is not just a random occurrence unless something happened with that cosmic day or whatever, the collapse, that it like spread it into the air, and like now it's a chance of like being contagious and you have a chance of actually just randomly getting it. But I don't think that's the case because this is obviously due to experimentation. So that's pretty much where we're at. I'm very excited to get into this. This episode is called The Test Begins. So I'm assuming that we're going to be seeing some new things that they're going to try to test out. And I have a feeling with, you know, just the word test, since this is all trial and error, this shit is going to go south, whatever the fuck it is. So I'm excited to get into this. Let's get into it. If you guys enjoy it, please leave a like down below, comment, subscribe for new, and hit that notification bell so you know the next one's dropping. Let's get into it. Episode 11, Heavenly Delusion. A lot more kids. A lot more. Okay, well, it looks like they're all getting along, like the younger kids with the bigger kids, which is nice. They're young ass kids. What? Oh, she's actually having birth. I'm dying, dude. Damn, they're really showing off the birth, bro. Like, I can't imagine giving birth. Bless up that I'm a man for some reason, you know. Somehow I was a man. Somehow I was born a man. Whoa, is he having like a vision? Because remember, his is like certain ability, like he can kind of like see something, like it's like almost like foresight, but not super far. But maybe this time, like maybe he's about to get a vision that's like pretty fucking far, and he sees like what she's like, what the baby's gonna look like or whatever. Like I don't know. Like this, they said this is a crisis whenever they heard that she was pregnant. So like, in my opinion, they have no idea what's about to come out of her. Like, who the fuck knows? But if we're assuming it's Maru, then it should just be a normal baby with this ability that he had, that he found out about later. On top of the van, chilling for the morning sunrise. Yo, their facial expressions are so funny. Bro, I hope they're close to this place. I hope they figure out, like, I really hope it's the facility that, because we have yet to see this facility, like this heaven place at all in the present timeline. Like, that's like the itching thing, like, I want to see this shit. That, okay, the baby's born, it looks healthy. Oh shit! What, to wager everything on Tokyo's child? Like, what? Why are they putting so much pressure on the baby already? So this is what they're trying to achieve? This is apparently the first time that we've seen her goal, or them mention the goal of this whole thing. Oh, she's 80 years old? Damn. Pretty much, yeah. You better have a stroke right fucking here. No, but as I was saying, this is like the actual goal of this place, is like to try, like they're experimenting with kids and man-eaters and whatnot to try and like achieve immortality, because she said they're trying to break the shackles of humanity's mortality. Okay, so we can see now that this director, she does whatever the fuck she wants, and that's what goes. What she says goes. I feel like as safely as possible. Okay. I mean, the kid looks healthy. But it seems like this is going to cause strife within the upper branch of this Takahara Academy and just like this place in general. And this is maybe how it led to like the fall or the collapse, because the director don't give a fuck. She's trying to say whatever she wants to say, and that's what goes. That's clear as day, because she literally only hired that girl as assistant director because she wants to basically get a transplant into her, I think. Like transplant her mind or whatever, like kind of like what happened with Kiriko, I think, right here, or Haruki and Kiriko. Like that's very interesting that that's already a thing, if it is a thing. Because that motherfucker was like, has she even consented? She's like, she applied for the position, bro. The fuck? She accepted it already, but she hasn't mentioned it to her. Man, that was a lot of info in like such a short amount of dialogue. Not even a short amount of dialogue, but just like a short amount of time. Like that was a huge amount. I hate that when you can't fall asleep. Really? So is there actually still people there at this facility? And we still don't even know if this facility is the one that had all, like the one that we see in the past. Bro. Is that Robin? I think that's Robin. It is. Oh shit, and he looks way different. Like he looks like mentally drained, like physically drained. Like a man on a mission trying to do something, I guess. I don't fucking know. But that's him. It's the first time we've actually seen him. Oh, what? I didn't realize she had ears like that. I thought it was just her hair the whole time. The fuck? Oh, shit! What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? Okay. Those eyes were the blue eyes that we remember seeing from that dude that gave Mimihime, or thinking Mimihime, one of those eyes. That was a dream. Don't tell me he fell down. Oh, Kona? Yeah, don't tell me he fell down with the disease. Bro, that shit was crazy. Like, as soon as she took the glasses off, like that, you saw those clear, iridescent blue eyes, bro. Like, super light blue. Like, we saw that. That's the same color blue eye that we saw from Dr. Usami and that girl, bro. Like, ah! That's really wild that she said that, because she had to deal with sharp objects and amputees and stuff like that. If that is the case, that she was that person that Maru helped kill, or not kill, but like die as a human. Okay, she's sitting right next to Kona, and there's a bunch of blood surrounding her. Yeah, this episode's wild, bro. Nah, bro. Is that the man-eater that turns invisible? So it seems like she has premonitions of future events, and it's possible. I mean, as you can see, like, Kona seems like he's gonna become a man-eater at some point. You know what I'm saying? But she doesn't know when. You know, it could be years in the future, or it could be like tomorrow, as she said. That's fucking wild, bro. Right, I wonder how she got this ability, bro. She had to have gotten it from the experimentations or whatever. She took it head on again. Boom! Took it head on again. That's very strong of her. Even though she was scared as fuck, she's trying to. That's amazing. She's trying to reassure her happiness and wow, bro. That's really powerful. She just wanted to make her feel okay, to feel accepted, and she faced her own fears to do that. That's hard to do. Okay, back to Mina. We're getting so much this episode, like it's insane. Okay, yeah. Back to this heaven thing.
与えられてる情報が断片的すぎてさ。園長ももうすぐって言ってるんだから信じるしかないですよ。そうだな。
I guess, yeah, like.
すでにいくつもタブーを踏み越えちまったもんな。
作業を続けてください。
Like that dude's actually starting to question it. Not a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like, yeah, I guess so, you know what I'm saying? But the rest of them are just like gullible as fuck. Like, yeah, it's gotta be true what she's saying.
園長不在の今がチャンスです。
とミルクの時間だ。失礼します。
沢渡先生。
So it seems like them two are trying to plan something on their own behind the director's back, and he's getting a little bit of cold feet because he knows some info that she does not about the director trying to take over her body. You know what I'm saying? Like the assistant director, like potentially. That's what it sounded like she was alluding to. Look, she's actually so excited to see her now, like someone actually likes her. First time they've seen each other in a long time. Good 9 months, 10 months. Kona and her are both parents now. As Hiruko. Interesting. This is the first time we're seeing a test or something like this in this place. I mean, yeah, but like still, like what the fuck? Oh, so they haven't taken it yet. This was just an announcement for the test that's coming up. This is wild, bro. We're getting a lot of info this episode. They actually called them Hiruko, so that is what they are. Really? Wow. Interesting. That is Tokyo's son. I'm thinking Maru. We're all thinking Maru, I think. Oh, shit. Hello? What the fuck? Did she have twins? Bro. Damn, dude. This is wild, man. Like, the anticipation is going crazy. What does it sound? Why am I hearing, like, squelching? As I say it, the description comes up. Wait, she just powered down? The test begins. And the fucking episode ends there, bro. Like, man, come on, bro. Like, nah, that was probably one of the best episodes yet in terms of this anticipation building up. Like, that was fucking crazy. Damn, bro. Alrighty, guys, what another amazing episode of Heavenly Delusion. Wow, that one was good. That was really, really good. I mean, damn, dude, we got a lot of info that episode that was given to us in such, I feel like, short amount of time. Like, I mean, obviously they've been, you know, doing their best to adapt the manga, and from what I've heard, in some cases they've like left some stuff out, or you know, some stuff hasn't gotten adapted yet, which might get adapted later. You know, stuff like that. So they're trying their best to fit everything in to, you know, a slot that they're given, which is 20 minutes per week. You know what I'm saying? 20 minutes per week, basically, of animation. So that's definitely why that episode felt like very full. Like, it felt very, very full of info and full of new things that not really new things, but, well, some new things, but also just some things where we're kind of getting confirmation of, or it's alluding to confirmation of what we're already thinking. Like, not like outright giving us the answer, but giving you even more of like evidence of what you're thinking, basically. Like the same thing, like the thing with Mimihime, and you know, her being the one that was the girl that Maru helped die as a human, and she had that blue eye in her, you know what I'm saying? Like the very, very bright blue eyes, you know, what's going on there? Like, because that was a huge thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. There's more evidence, or there's more clues leading us into like what could have possibly happened there, or who that person was that Maru helped pass away as a human. And then that was Dr. Usami's wish that was trying to help her out so much. Was that Mimihime? Like, are we still thinking that because of that flashback we got after that episode? Or now that we see this new girl, Ohama or Ohime, something like that. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head right now. But this girl has this ability where it's her eyes, right? And who knows if this is... Oh, fuck. I just realized too, dude. That's what I'm saying, bro. So much shit is connecting so quickly. Like, you can't even like remember it or think of all of it right away. Like, at least for me, her blue ass eyes, when they do that, like, because when we saw the second time Mihime confronted her and like tried to, like, you know, confront her fears and comfort her, because this little girl couldn't make any friends because of the way she was like this. When she first took off the glasses, the eyes looked pretty fucking normal, like color, like not super bright. And then all of a sudden they get this bright ass blue. Like, as soon as they're like, it's like what they're supposed to look like normally, apparently. And that's why she wears sunglasses all the time. So as soon as they went blue, bright blue like that, that's where the hallucination starts. That's where it begins. And Kiriko, or Haruki, and Maru found that one man-eater that was in the basement that one group wanted them to kill, that was under Dr. Usami's like building or whatever, and that thing lit up blue at one point and made Kiriko fall under a hallucination. That's when we were really confused on what the fuck was happening, and Maru snapped her out of it. So boom, that's probably a good indicator that little girl was that man-eater that they killed, or got rid of, or like that's what made him hallucinate, whatever type thing. I don't know. And that makes it even more interesting of Dr. Usami coming up and saying, I have someone else I want you to kill, which was this girl, obviously, that had a potential of turning into a man-eater. So that means that I'm sure that Dr. Usami already knew that girl, which we're assuming is that man-eater that Maru and them just killed in that basement. Because he said someone specifically. He said someone. So maybe he already saw like the outcome, or like he's seen things where like, yeah, like that one turned into a man-eater. So that's what's going to happen to you if I can't figure out something to cure this disease, or find a way to kill you in a way where you don't turn into a man-eater. Because like, oh dude, like, damn, so much info. Like, that's just one thing that we got. I'm trying to remember from the beginning of the episode. I think we got right back caught up with Maru and Haruki, like heading to where they're heading, trying to get to this facility. And you know, they're riding on the van, they're talking, and they're like kind of just like, you know, goofing around like they usually do as they drive. And then we get some more look at the facility, the Heaven place in the past, and we finally see Tokyo giving birth. They show that pretty quickly, and you know, she's like, I'm gonna fucking die, like it hurts, like oh my god, like classic birth, like it sucks apparently. Like I would never know, but ladies, I believe you and I trust you that shit is fucking hell on earth. Maybe not that exaggerated, but you know what I mean. It's painful as fuck. So they show that process. She actually ends up having the baby, as we see, because like, you know, Dr. Sawatara, whatever his name is looking at it and also taking care of it from here and there. And then we get into a conversation with, no, we kind of just see first, like, you know, like the kids all getting along. Like most of the younger kids are getting along with the older kids. You know, they're all having a good time. The class has gotten bigger, or at least like the whole facility has gotten bigger in terms of the population of these kids. So they're all having a grand time, besides that one little girl that Mimihime was worried about. And I didn't even notice, this is the first time I've noticed that, you know, her hair, it just looks like her hair when her ears are down, but her ears are big as fuck. So she heard like someone like trying to figure out how to play this instrument, and that was that little girl, and that's where she had that first instance of that hallucination type thing, which, you know, we should have realized we should have put 2 and 2 together right there. But that's what I'm saying, like sometimes you don't, like the clues are given to you, but it's not like outright, so you like have to think, like come on guys, you gotta use this shit, bro, like it's fucking wild. So we get into that encounter, and that was very creepy and unsettling, and just like what the fuck is happening. And then also like we see the blue eye, so that's like a big like, okay, what's going on? Like that bright ass blue looks like the bright ass blue that we saw with the girl that we helped die as a human, and then, you know, Dr. Usami, who apparently gave her that, like, you know, I don't know, I'm just paying attention. And then where do we go after that? I think that's pretty much where after we go to, or at some point we go to, you know, the director having a conversation with Dr. Sawatara, who's been wanting to be, or who was very jealous, or not jealous, but like very disappointed. Like, damn, like I thought I was going to be the assistant director. You know what I'm saying? Like he couldn't like believe that he was not chosen, because he's like a hard ass worker, and he's pretty much the right-hand man or the top like researcher of this place, if you had to guess. Right next to the one that became the assistant director, but obviously he probably had more accolades, or maybe was there before longer. I mean, who knows? But obviously we can see that the decision was biased, because the director is like she's going on explaining, and she's, you know, giving him, you know, a fucking lecture as usual. It seems like this happens often, where she continues to, you know, deflect, you know, like, oh yeah, I'm 80 years old, and apparently they're putting a lot of pressure on Tokyo's kid. Like, we're gonna have to gamble, we're gonna have to wager on this kid, because this is a baby of 2 kids of this facility. She made emphasis of that. This is the first of such. So this is why they're this is why they're so interested, or they're taking such a big wager, I guess, or they thought it was a crisis on their hands whenever they first found out that Tokyo was pregnant, because they had no idea what was going to like happen. I don't think they knew like what was going to come out of her, like, you know, what the real deals was, like, you know what I'm saying? They had no clue, because this hadn't happened before. But now that the kid's here, looks like they're gambling everything on this kid. In terms of like experimentation or whatever they can find out about things, you know, with the kids, and like the disease and this and that, and how to achieve, which we finally get like the goal of this place, which apparently, since they're trying to make heaven, the inside goal of that is they're trying to break the shackles of human mortality. So that means essentially they're trying to figure out how to fucking live forever, or, you know, gain immortality or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They're trying to figure it out. They're experimenting every way possible to do that. And that's in their mind creating heaven. You know what I'm saying? And then they're going to be able to spread that to the world. Like, this is this facility's goal, apparently. So we finally get information out of that. Like, we kind of get a clear, concise idea of what they're trying to accomplish. And then she goes on to keep on saying and telling Dr. Sawatara, like, you know, like, I don't have much time left. Like, I can't wait 13 years, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm 80 years old already, blah, blah, blah. You know, she keeps on saying that. But then she goes on to say, like, you know, why do you think I chose her as my assistant director? Like, if you take up on the position, you know, we can just transfer my, like, whatever she's, dude, all the shit was said so fast that I couldn't even keep up, but I'm pretty sure she said something along the lines of transplant, some sort of transplant. And what I think is that the same sort of transplant that Haruki and Kiriko went through, which, you know, that's how Haruki got into Kiriko's body. You know what I'm saying? So Haruki was basically unsavable, but he's still alive thanks to the transplant to her body. So who knows? I don't know we still don't know what happens to the person's body who owned the body. Where did their shit go? You know what I'm saying? They're just dead now. Like they're just dead. They have no other choice. Like I don't know how that works. Like we have yet to get confirmation of what happens there. But since the director said transplant, and she's the one that wants to transplant to the assistant director, since she's younger, this and that, blah blah, she'll be able to live longer. What happens to that person's sense of self, soul, consciousness, whatever you want to call it? What happens to theirs? Because you're the one that's taking over their body. So that's pretty much what she said. And Sarutobi was like, do you even have consent? And she's like, she accepted the position. Like, who gives a fuck? So basically she hasn't even mentioned it to the assistant director. So she's clueless on like what the director's goal is for taking over her body or whatever, having that transplant, going through with that transplant or whatever. And then so it seems like Sarutobi was very worried about that, obviously, and he doesn't know how to exactly bring that up to the assistant director or what he's going to do on his own, because he feels like he has to take it on his own, because obviously he just learned this information. He's the only one that knows it, and that's why he started kind of getting cold feet, because it seems like the assistant director and him are trying to plan something behind the director's back, because apparently right now she's gone, so they're trying to do something on their own, which I'm assuming is what this test is, and then why they're starting to do this test, you know what I'm saying, and why they made an announcement about it. It's like, okay, the director's gone, this is our best chance to try this fucking thing out. So this is what they're trying to do. They're going through with it, but they could have started it a little sooner, but he got a little bit of cold feet because he realizes, like, okay, I'm the only one that knows about what the director's trying to do with your fucking ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't know how to bring it up. Like, he just like got cold feet. He was like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, let me go do something else real quick. Took care of the baby, put Tokyo's baby to sleep, but then we saw that fucking right when like he said goodnight to the baby, it pans to the right and there's another fucking baby that looks smack like the other baby. Like, did she have twins? Like, everybody's been saying baby singular, but I see two fucking babies. Where'd the other one come from, bro? Hello? Like, that's another thing of this episode, another piece of information, or just like another little clue, or just like they didn't even say anything about it. They just threw it in there. You just look at it and you're like, hello, twins, second baby from another person, who, like, twins, like what? I don't know, bro. Like that's the thing in itself. Hopefully we get more shit on that next episode. But after that is basically where we see, like, they make the announcement to the kids, like, come to the pool. We're gonna announce this test that you guys are gonna take. They announce it, and basically they actually called them Hiriko this time, which means man-eater, obviously, as they know it in the present day. I don't think they know that in the past. Like, this is a very new term, I think. So they actually refer to them as that, and then a lot of kids are, some of the kids were kind of, discussing after the announcement, and they're like, it felt like I've been called my real name, like the first time, like in a long time. And then like this girl's like, yeah, me too. Like that's exactly how I felt. Blah blah blah. And some kids aren't taking it too seriously. Some kids are like, what's gonna happen? Like, this test is gonna be interesting. And then some kids are just like, fuck it, whatever. It doesn't matter. So this thing that they're going through with, this test, is pretty sure is without the doctor's knowledge or the director's knowledge. And this is very possible how the collapse even happens. This test right here that's about to happen, I have a feeling it just has to do with that, because obviously we thought it was going to be the birth of the kid that Tokyo had, which is potentially Maru, and the kid's born and they're chilling, like nothing's happened yet. So this test might be the thing that like fucking shuts everything down, or like, the collapse, how the collapse happens. Who knows? This is what I'm thinking, at least. Yeah, man, that's gonna be very interesting to see like how they actually get through that, and because it seemed like they were like trying to, like, the way they were explaining it is like, get to the outside of the outside. Like, what the fuck does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So they got to figure out their own way to like escape this place and like use, like, follow the path whichever you feel is correct. So because each kid is different and unique to their own abilities, so they got to find their own way out, which is, I feel like, just like a recipe for disaster, because all these kids are different. And then not even to mention, we also see Mimi Hime. We got more information on her and more of a look into her premonitions and what she sees in the future, and how she's, it's not very clear to her. Like, it could be 10 seconds in the future, it could be tomorrow, or it could be years in the future. Like, she doesn't know. but she still sees these things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like when she was talking to Kona, like the whole time that she was talking to Kona and like venting to him, he was fine. He was just laying there, but in her eyes, like what she was seeing, there's blood all over the floor, and Kona was the man-eater. You know what I'm saying? It looked like a man-eater. It looked like the one that was invisible type deal that Haruki even ran into in the beginning of the show, or when he was younger. That's what it looked like. Is it though? I don't know. But it definitely alludes to Kona's gonna turn into a man-eater at some point. So he's either gonna fall to the disease, or is that also a something that just happens even if you just die? You know what I'm saying? Like there has to be a certain way for you to go, which the only way that we know so far is Maru touch. You know what I'm saying? Killing, like destroying the core. Otherwise, if you actually just die from the disease or whatever, you turn into a man-eater. Is that the case? Or is it a man-eater and even if you just die? Because you already have special properties to begin with because you're from this place. So, I don't know, bro. It seems like a lose-lose if you don't have somebody like Maru. Like, Maru seems like a big key to like this world in general. So, I'm excited to learn more. But that episode was jam-packed with shit, bro. Holy. That was a lot. That was a lot, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm going to be sad when this shit ends, bro. I think we only got like 2 more episodes or so. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see here. Yeah, I think we only have 2 more episodes for this first season. So I mean, this anticipation, the amount of info and stuff that was jam packed in this episode, and we're like, this is the third to last. I can only imagine what the second to last is going to be like, and then what the finale is going to be like. And I forgot to fucking mention, because of everything else that's been in this episode. God, this is the longest discussion ever. These reactions to Heavenly Delusion are always the longest, and I love it because it's just, this is what creates discussion and where we get to like relate to what we're watching. This motherfucker Robin, we actually see his ass again, and it's actually in the present timeline. He looks stressed. He looks malnourished a little bit, not super, you know what I'm saying? But he looks fucking, you know, he looks like he's been chasing something. Like he looks like he's been working his ass off. And sure enough, as Haruki or Kiriko was trying to fall asleep, Maru was like, man, I took a nap earlier. I shouldn't have done that. I can't fall asleep. And then he sees smoke rising from, like, you know, in front of them. And so he wakes up Kiriko and they're like, yo, look, there's smoke rising. And she's like, you sure? And like, yeah. And then they look at it and they're like, yeah, you're right. So they get the map out, get the compass out, and they're like, okay, that smoke seems to be coming. It seems like it's coming from the Ibaraki facility that we want to check out. And this place looks like pretty huge, like industrial, like it's like a plant or something, you know, some sort of power plant or just something in general. Who knows what the fuck it actually is. But Robin is there. He is alive and well. We have been looking for him. He is there, alive. What is he doing? Is he still, you know, on our side? He's a doctor now. What is he doing here? Like, I completely forgot about that. We got a little sneak at that. So hopefully we see that next episode. I'm assuming we're going to see this test actually go out next episode. See what the fuck actually happens with that. And then also hopefully see, because it's already nighttime when we last saw Kiriko and Maru. So hopefully we get into them again, where they travel from wherever they're standing at to that facility, meet Robin, reunite, figure out some shit from him, whether it's they get so curious enough where they leave in the night where they're at right now, or they wait until the morning, like what the fuck ever. Like I don't know, since they see the smoke and they're curious, I feel like they're gonna go now. So yeah, I'm excited to see this test in the Heaven facility in the past timeline, and then I'm excited to see Robin and Kiriko or Haruki fucking meet up again in the present timeline, because and who knows if this Ibaraki facility, like it looks mad different, that's for sure, but it's some sort of facility, that's definite, because we heard like industrial noises. Robin is there, we know he's a doctor, he's got to be there for a reason. So is this the same facility, just like rebuilt or different or whatever? That's something we still got to figure out too, and I'm sure we'll figure it out through that encounter and that them being reunited, hopefully. But I think that's it. I think that's finally it, bro. That's a long ass discussion. Like I said, this episode was jam packed with shit, bro. That was such a good episode. I loved it. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. Finally, you can hear my ass shut the fuck up, because goddamn, this show is wild. And it's just got so much to talk about. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I'm excited for next episode. If you guys enjoyed this one, please leave a like down below, comment, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell so you know the next one's dropping. I'll see you on the next one. Y'all be good. Deuces.